Hello and welcome to Business Today Television. I'm Siddharth Zarabi. Last week, the Vedanta Group announced a big restructuring exercise to unlock shareholder value. The stock has surged over 11% since then, with market participants feeling optimistic that the six-way demerger plan will help unlock value and be positive for equity holders. But what does this mean for bondholders and the future direction that this group intends to take? And joining me now is the founder and group chairman, Anil Agarwal. Welcome, Mr. Agarwal. You've made a massive announcement which has been digested well in the markets. I want to begin by asking you to respond to a question that's been asked. You have never, as a group, defaulted on any repayments. Despite that, there are some analysts who are repeatedly asking this question as to whether you will be able to fulfill the bond payment commitments that you have of around $3 billion plus that are coming up in the next 12-18 months. What would you say to them at the start of our conversation?
First of all, thank you very much, Siddharth, to inviting me. Is a India story. We are everything. India is import based. 50% of our revenue goes into import. How long? We have to eradicate our poverty. We have to save our money for the investment to development of India, and we have very unusual. We are not in a normal commodity. We always do something which is a fundamental, the basic. So we produce oil and gas, we produce zinc, we produce silver, we produce copper, we produce aluminum. We have we produce fiber optic cable, fiber optic, we system integration. We are in foray of glass, which is 100% import. Without glass, nothing will happen. No laptop will be made. No smartphone will be made. We are getting into the semiconductor. And if you see anything which we start, there is a huge world does not want India to produce this. They want us to import. And this is how we take this battle. I'm sitting in the London. I raised $35 billion, invested in India, never defaulted. It is the largest taxpayer in the country. We have paid last 4 or 5 years almost $7 8 billion to the government tax. We created value for Hindustan Zinc. Anything we put in, there is a win-win. Government is benefited, so they can use that fund. Huge employment has been generated, never defaulted. So we are getting into the foray of this. We have over $20 billion of revenue. We make $5 billion of profit. Anything around 20%, 25% less than that profit, we are not in that business. So people always, there are forces which work where they say, let's talk about, say they don't get funding for the semiconductor, they don't put into the glass. But I can tell you the other side, there's a whole world want to associate with us, whether it's the American. We have proven people. We have raised money in this market. So I have no doubt that we will keep moving forward. If you go and look at the market to buy bond in the market, you can't get the bond. Vedanta bonds are not available. So there is a people create this situation whereby to make sure that and this is the part of life. This is a part of life. I'm very confident. We have a people, we have a team to go on. $3 billion, what the maturity is there with the internal resources and to have the refinancing. We are very comfortable that everything will be in place. Never it has happened, but some people has a habit, so they want to lend money to us at the expensive price. So they may be creating this. I'm just assuming But as far as we are concerned, we have an amazing cash flow, very, very good business, fantastic workforce, and the best of commodity and the product. So this is what our story is.
Mr. Agarwal, you made several points in that answer, and since you spoke about tax, I just want to inform our viewers that there's some news that has just come in about tax refund, 190 crore, but just as an indicator to what you spoke about being one of the highest taxpayers. There's also news, Mr. Agarwal, which says that the group is in advanced talks with JP Morgan Chase and Stanchart to secure a 3 billion refinancing facility. That news has just come. I want you to comment on it and also explain to our viewers that is this refinancing that you are considering or restructuring some of those bonds that are due soon?
Yeah, refinancing and restructuring the same thing. And we have our own fund also. So combination of that, all payment we have been doing this last 20 years, restructuring, paying from our, because it is a cycle. We are expanding our business. We borrow fund, we raise equity, and make sure the our shareholders are happy. So it is a process. And one thing I can assure to all our bondholder, all our equity holder, that I'm very conscious that for me, nothing is more important than my shareholder and my bondholder. And this is my personal commitment that there is absolutely no question that ever there will be a problem for the will not making our payment on time.
Okay, that's a fair point that you make regarding your bond repayment plans. By when do you expect to provide sort of finalize this and announce it? Is there a time frame that you can share with viewers?
It is a machine which keep working inside the company, and the due date we have one payment is due on January, which is another 4 months. Another payment is due in August, which is about 9-10 months, and we are apps. It's a every day. It is a machine which, as I said, which work on the basis because we have expansion plan, we generate a lot of cash, and I have no doubt. But this company is going to be. This is the company which is going to be institution for 500 years. This is the ambassador for India, whereby we need more and more company like this to come in India to produce. I'm looking for more competitor to come, but I did not need to announce because as and when it get dues, we will make the payment.
Absolutely. Mr. Agarwal, for years you followed a strategy of consolidation. You have told us about how much funds you have raised, and you've done that pretty successfully. Now, through this demerger, what is the broader philosophy that is at work here? 6 different business verticals. It is obviously positive for equity holders, and that is being reflected in the share price. But what's the broader medium term, longer term goal through this demerger?
6 company, my vision is each company will be like Vedanta, size of Vedanta. You can imagine that the person who has a one share will get six share. So he'll have a lot of flexibility. He can keep all the share. Look at, we are the largest dividend payer probably in India and the most of the world, and we are very conscious that we must pay the dividend. And 6 company will have their own CEO, and the CEO will also, management will also have skin in the game. So they will be like a partner, they will be like a stakeholder also in the company. So this is how we are looking at. So company should run by the best of expert. We got for the aluminum, the CEO, the top man of Alcoa. We got the Goldfield CEO who is working We have as best of CEO for the our zinc business. We are getting the world class silver CEO. Silver, will be producing largest silver of the world in India. Recycling is a very good business. We are looking forward to have silver to produce in Zambia. We have a huge deposit of cobalt. So we are looking how do we make sure the cobalt being produced. We have a nickel. We are the only producer of nickel in India. Uh, you name things. If you look at, we are the renewable energy. We have the one of the best renewable energy. We have a transmission business. We
Right.
have optical fiber. So these are the business. Each business should have its own because demand is so high and we are the only producer. We are very exclusive. So I have no doubt, and we work with the 20-25% margin. This is going to be one of the best company. People, my consciousness is always that our shareholders are happy, but there are always people who want to land at the higher rate. Our average interest rate is about 9%, and sometimes people get greedy. They want to lend us at the higher price, and we will see how best we can deal, and whatever is the best, we will do it. Modi, who has made a report, we have no dealing with the Modi. We are not part of that member, but on their own they have published this report. So we are going through. India is going through with the process where when we go technology side, when we have a big venture, something exclusive, people don't like it. They don't want India to produce this. So this is the battle. Like we used to when we were small, when we used to go third class in a compartment, people will say that there is no room in the हमारे डब्बे में जगह नहीं है, आप मत आइए. But once you get in, वो हम लोग खाना आपस में बैठ के साथ में खाते थे. So this is the process which we are going through. And one thing I can tell you, I'm very confident, very comfortable the way the company is, the product we have, the management what we have, and the 1.4 billion people and today's government, which is so progressive.
Right.
This company is going to be a star company.
You mentioned high dividend payouts, and for our viewers, over the last 10 years or so, the group has given dividends of almost $11 billion and more. Will that continue, Mr. Agarwal? Because a lot of shareholders have gotten used to this consistent high dividend payout philosophy that you have employed.
There's so many opportunity. The share price will go. I have a feeling that if you look at all our product, what we have has a huge value. The multiple of recycling is very high. Silver has a very high multiple. If you see the semiconductor has a huge multiple, the glass has a huge multiple. So all this benefit will come to our shareholder, whether it will come in the share price, whether it will come to the dividend. For me, all the time the focus is to make sure two things. One is our shareholders are happy and our payments are made on time. Everybody want to give us a money, but they want to probably take the higher interest and take the benefit out of it. And that's fine because that's the market.
I want to ask you about the semiconductor foray, and we have spoken about this in the past. You are very passionate about this. You also put in place a management team. Two questions. One, are you now closer to finalizing partners and the actual plan? The second part, do you think, given the massive restructuring that you are planning, and it is going to take probably a year to fully implement for all approvals to come in, that you may want to hold off on the semiconductor foray and focus on the core businesses, Mr. Agarwal?
Not at all. Not at all. My focus is very much on the glass and the semiconductor. And that company also we have demerged. and put it into the separate as a subsidiary of Vedanta. And we have a non-disclosure agreement. We have a world best two collaborator for the semiconductor, and we are going for the basic. We are creating a foundry. We are creating a design center, supply chain, everything together. We have a huge team working with us. We are one of the largest in Taiwan producing glass. So we are in the country where they produce semiconductor funding. People will be queuing up for this funding, and I never had a problem in the past when I spent almost 14-15 billion in oil and gas. When I bought the Balco, I bought 550 crores. I didn't have that kind of money, but when I announced the project, there's a queue of people of equity and debt. People believe in me. People believe that what I can deliver, and especially in India, it's a country which is opening up. We are son of the soil. We understand, and I have no doubt that we will be the opening batsman. Many more people will come. Entrepreneur will come. This is a country of entrepreneur. Many more will come. Government will open up their policy, and people say that you are going you work very hard and you take the call, but it is a normal as long as we follow the governance, we follow rule of the law, then you have to take a risk and move forward.
Uh, Mr. Agarwal, besides steel, where you have spoken about that particular sector, do you see the possibility of offloading some other assets as part of this broader reorganization?
Not at all. Not at all. Because each business has a future. Each business has a future. Copper is going to be all business, all our product has double-digit growth in India, which is unheard of in the world. And for me, the more and more money is a byproduct. But for me, whatever I'm producing, hundreds of new industry will come up, whether it's automobile, whether it's a railway sector, whether it's electrical sector, every sector of technology sector, we are the link. We will be following. You will not believe in 200 companies we stand as a Dow Jones on sustainability sixth rank, which is remarkable in the world standard. So there is a growth, there is a potential, but we are in a business which is hard, which is difficult to come in, and that's what I like. I like something which is a futuristic, which is going to change our country, because with the semiconductor glass, it is a tomorrow's where we can produce laptop, we can produce smartphone, and we don't remain only assembling unit in the country. We fundamentally we produce, we design and produce. That is my aim. Same thing for the copper, all the non-ferrous, even the oil and gas. No matter what you say, no, oil and gas is not going anywhere. And oil and gas will be the doubling our capacity in oil and gas. This will be big foray for us. For us, very, very important that producing more oil is like a soldier on our border. Because more and more oil we produce, more and more we secure our country.
Absolutely, Mr. Agarwal, and the markets have liked the restructuring announcement, the reorganization that you have announced, and hopefully we'll keep coming back to you and talking to you about the plans as they unfold in the near future. Thank you very much for your time with us today. With that, viewers, it's a wrap on this conversation with Anil Agarwal, the chairman of the Vedanta Group, where he makes it very clear that there is no fear on account of the bond payments that are due, and the group is set for even stronger growth from here on. If you've been, thank you very much for watching.
वीडियो पसंद आया तो हमें लाइक, कमेंट, शेयर और सब्सक्राइब जरूर करें।